Hey everybody, I'm here with the Ouija Chords, a really cool surf band that I just found out about. Um, how you doing, guys?
Well, I can only speak for myself, but Boris is doing great, it seems like. I'm doing well as well.
Awesome, awesome. Tell me, tell me a little bit about the Ouija experience.
Well, the Ouija experience, it goes back ages. I discovered the band, of course, in a sealed mausoleum that I believe a group of rockers were trying to use as a rehearsal space. But they got themselves locked in, and well, as you can see, some of them underwent magnificent transformations. But they had some pretty damn good songs, so I decided to wrangle them together, and we've been traipsing the world ever since, playing that good old rock and roll music.
Now, being stuck in there for so long, how did you come up with the idea for surf?
I it must have been that they got themselves locked in there, having already built quite the record collection. This band, had listened to clearly the greats, of course, Dick Dale, the Atlantics, some of the more garagey bands, the Mummies. I found a great stack of LPs stuck in there with them, so they must have just listened and listened, and the music started to write itself. Boris here, mostly writing it all on the guitar.
The one thing I love about the Mummies is they used to kind of haunt Philadelphia quite often, and that's where I'm from. Um, and they were an amazing group of individuals or collective.
Yes, well, the Ouija's, we've been haunting a few different spaces. The songs originally, many of them were written in Heidelberg, Germany, in fact. But now we make our home here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we found a quite the community of surf rockers.
Do you find it's difficult to make friends, or are they open to ghouls such as yourself?
Well, we've been lucky. Some of our bedside manners are a little a little better than others. I'm the only one that speaks in the band, so I have to shake a lot of hands and make a lot of friends. But we've been very lucky here in New Mexico. We've made friends with Hula Ghost, for example, and the surf rock band White Sands. And people have been very receptive every time we crawl our way out of the grave soil to various punk and rockabilly shows. So it's actually been quite, the reception's been grand, and so far we haven't scared anyone away.
What is the now I'm assuming in your band you used to communicate the Ouija board. Is that sort of how you come up with your songs? You like communicate with the other side?
That's a very good question. I suppose there's always some form of divination involved, tapping into the spirits of old, wouldn't you say, Boris? Yes, Boris here, though he doesn't speak, is quite the talented medium. Sometimes when he picks up the guitar, it does seem as though the old ghosts of rock and roll flow through him.
They say some of um my family has the gift, and my close relative is now reading a book on witches, and
Oh, wonderful.
so she would identify greatly, I think, with you guys very much.
Well, you know, we're just a piece in a great legacy of musical tradition, and we try to reflect that in our sets. We, of course, we write mostly originals, but we've done a surf rendition of Swan Lake by the great Tchaikovsky, and of course, The Fly by the Mummies, and perhaps some other covers down the road. But it's always good to look behind as you look ahead, I always say.
I do want to ask a question because I did before about Heidelberg, Germany. Um, they're known, what I'm assuming, is for the Black Forest. Is that correct?
No, no, I don't. I don't know. Oh, Boris is
journey.
Boris.
I knew I got it wrong, but I wanted you to tell me where it was.
Further south, I'm told, in Germany.
Okay.
Than the Black Forest. Yeah.
All right.
I personally went there. I picked up on the road later on.
Okay. Why Heidelberg?
Let me see. This is its own form of divination, communicating with Boris Jagoff here. Apologies for the dead air.
I love the Barbarella poster.
Oh, why, thank you. Yes, we tried to clean up a bit and decorate for the interview. You know, appearances are important to us. Well, we were on tour and got trapped in a graveyard is what Boris is writing to me. But it seemed a good time of isolation to really start to work on some of the kernels of ideas that would later become our first tape, Rot and Roll.
Oh, awesome. I love the fact that you used tape. Is that something that is kind of very close to your heart, something that, you know, reminds you of your youth?
Absolutely. I've got our tape right here, of course. Oh, shining back on the reflection there, but
love it.
Rock and roll with the Ouija chords. We love dead media, as they call it, but you know, I find that the tape is a great way of capturing these incantations, and the punks, they love it. They love the cassette. It's partly because it's cheap. None of us have any money. Ah, wonderful. The Hamiltones. Well, of course, we love the artwork on that.
Yes. Yes. And in my youth, that was the way we traded music, you know. There was no file sharing. It was all by tape, and it was something, it was a magical thing, you know.
Tape trading is how many of us discovered hundreds of great bands.
Yeah, yeah. So before we go, I want to give you a chance to maybe kind of spread your message, say something I haven't mentioned or asked about, or ask me a question.
Well, I suppose our message is, let me think. I would say our message is, well, first of all, why can't Halloween be every day of the year, first and foremost? Officially on the calendar, we're 75 days out today, by the way. So why not say Happy Halloween already? And I believe Halloween to be the most rocking of all holidays. So we want to spread sort of like a miasma, great rock and roll music. And I mean, gosh, just have a little bit of fun while we're still here before we crumble to dust. And on the way, make some good friends. You know, we've played some exciting shows already. We played a great show with Tab Falco. here in Albuquerque, as well as John Wesley Coleman III, and of course with our good friends that I mentioned before. And it seems like before we all shuffle off this mortal coil, or the sun perhaps explodes, as they say it may one day, let's have a goddamn good time.
Excellent, excellent. I want to thank you guys so much. I know your time is limited because it is daylight where you are. So I didn't want to scare you, but I want to let you guys go so you get back to your dark dungeon.
Oh, thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time. And yes, is there anything else you wanted to chime in with, Boris? Oh, if he doesn't have a guitar in his hands, he gets a bit of stage fright.